Hello everyone and welcome to my April reading diary, which basically means every time I pick up a book in April, I'm going to pick up my camera and tell you about it. So I'm starting off the month with this one, which is an odd one. This is called Suicide Blonde. It's by Darcy Steinkeck, and I don't know why I picked this up in a charity shop. I just did. It's got quite a cover on it, and it's about a woman who befriends a stripper. She basically works as a carer for a woman called Pig, and Pig knows this stripper and says to her, like, go and find her for me, and then she befriends the stripper, and it's about what happens there. Also, her boyfriend's bisexual, and it's about her kind of how she feels about that, and he's dating her, but she thinks he's dating men, and it's about that whole situation. It seems very, very interesting. Now the end of a long day, and so I'm running myself a bath, and I'm going to read this, which is Icehaven by Daniel Close. Daniel did Ghost World, and I absolutely love that. And it's about a town where a little boy goes missing. This girl comes to town to live with her aunt, I believe, and she becomes obsessed with this man who is her neighbour. And then it's about all the children talking about the missing boy and where is he, and there's a detective in it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So let me show you the art style. It's like very vintage art style, really beautiful. Show you my bookmark as well. Picture of me and the boyfriend from like 2 years ago at a Day of the Dead event. So I'm going to read that in the bath, and then I'm going to put these in the bath. These little like soap petals as a Wonder Woman bath bomb. And then I got this from my best friend Lara, which you put it under the running water and it makes the water all lovely. So I'm going to put that in now. There is my finished glorious bath. I put a bit of bubble bath in as well, and all the pink bits are the soap petals. And this thing is really, really cool. So it's basically pink bath salt, and then the more water you put on it, the more they dissolve in the package. So I'm going to use all the rest of them. It smells gorgeous. And read this and just have a relax from a very stressful day. I have just finished Icehaven, and I really, really loved it. It's just about all these weird, quirky people in the town, and the boy obviously goes missing, and everyone's talking about that. And it's just really interesting. I love all the different art styles within it. It's gorgeous, kind of vintage looking art styles, and it was just stunning from start to finish. And then some of them have like the same colour palette. So this is obviously blue and orange, and this one is all in blue, and I just loved it all. Daniel Close is so weird but wonderful. I absolutely loved it. I have about an hour to read, and then I'm off to a heavy metal gig. No joke, they're called like Epica. They're my boyfriend's favourite band. 4 hours long of like heavy slash operatic techno music. I don't know how I'm going to cope. I think it'll be good though. I'm embracing it. That's why I popped myself on some lashes to be the diva that I am. Anyway, I'm gonna read this. This is Madame Pamplemousse and the Enchanted Sweet Shop, and it is gorgeous, and I love this series. This is the last book in the series, and it just puts me in a good, happy mood. And then I'm gonna reread the series because I really love it. And then I'm off to like get banged in the head in a mosh pit. Like, I don't really know what happens. I'm quite frightened, guys. Like, I'm a Shirley Bassey musical queen, and yet I'm gonna be here with like heavy metal people. Also, do you like that I have Diamante straps? Me. So I'm going to do a little bit of reading, cleansing my soul, maybe rub some crystals upon myself to get ready for this. But this whole series, I cannot rave about it enough. I feel like I've spoken about it quite a lot, but I love it so much. So I'm going to read this and then like wish me luck, okay? I feel like I'm taking my life in my own hands. I feel like this is one of the things that in life you're not supposed to do if you're me. So I went to the gig, it's now the next day, I survived, but barely. And that's nothing to do with the crowd or anything, it's to do with the bouncers. Do I have a story for you? It was at Bristol O2 and there was a massive gap between the stage and the audience. So we were on like standing just on the floor, and there was a stage, and then there was a row of photographers, a row of bouncers, and then this kind of barricade thing. So you were very much away from what was going on stage. So no one was moshing, no one cared, to be honest with you. Sorry, Epica fans, but no one was getting that into it because the distance was so far. Also, the music was really loud, so you couldn't really hear her voice, and she has a really strong voice normally. So it was something a bit off with that whole situation. So no one was like that into the gig, and there was a rogue bouncer. Now, the majority of places that you go, all the bouncers would be great, but there will always be a rogue bouncer. Someone that became a bouncer because they like aggression, they like violence, they're just into the whole thing. So on the like barricade, everyone was leaning up against it, and this man was physically removing people from the barricade, taking them to the reception. And my friends, I got escorted out from a heavy metal gig for nothing. There was no reason, he just kept pulling people out. So I got split off my boyfriend, which was quite frightening, and I was in the reception area, and I thought I was gonna be kicked out on the street. And then in the reception area, all these other people were like, that man is on drugs and he's just chucking people out. It was frightening, and so many people left and went home. So I went back into the gig, couldn't find my boyfriend, so I was by myself, like trying to find him, trying to keep away from this bouncer because he was obviously, you can tell when someone's buzzing, they're on drugs. So this bouncer was out of control, screaming. The gig, like, you couldn't really hear it, it wasn't very good. And then when we got outside, we left the building and everyone was like waiting for a taxi and a lift and everything, and this bouncer came outside and, I kid you not, started screaming at the top of his lungs. This was a different bouncer, there was two rogue ones. This is a different bouncer, said, I'm gonna arrest you all, you're all gonna get locked up, you're all trespassing, the police are coming. And then he was running into people's faces and he was going, I'm gonna lock you up, I'm gonna go mad. The other bouncers had to come out and physically restrain him. Guys, like, it was so mental, and the bouncers were like middle-aged men. It was mental. I'm now going to go to work, so I thought I'd just catch you up because I wish I could have filmed the whole thing. It was so ridiculous, it was mental. It's actually really hot out, so me and the boyfriend are going to go out to the park and have a lovely, jolly lovely read in the park. We are now at the park, as you can see. There's actually quite a lot of people around. You can't see anyone, but they're like sitting on the benches. We're sitting on the grass on a little rug. I'm reading some more of Suicide Blonde. I'm here with the dearest. Say hello. He's wearing my sunglasses because I had two pairs and he didn't have any. And he is reading this, which I got of him, which is the Rick and Morty Volume 1 graphic novel. Are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, so far.
So far, so good? 85 pages into Suicide Blonde and I'm still really enjoying it so far. I think it's a really interesting book. I'm not sure whether I like it or not, but it is interesting. Also, do you like my little Minnie Mouse shoes? I'll get the boyfriend's review as well. So this is the boyfriend's book. He is halfway through and your opinion was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it is good so far, yeah.
He said it's good so far. It's different from the TV series. You did say it is separate. Very separate, very different from it, but he is still enjoying it. Just say this has not been my month at all. I need to relax, I need to calm. I'm going to read this, which is called The Gift of Silence. This was sent to me by Yellow Kite Publishers, and this is never a book that I would ever buy, but I'm really enjoying it. It's about a Zen Buddhist nun, and she just talks about the power of silence. So not actual literal silence, like finding it within yourself. You can be in a shouty room full of people and just finding silence and assessing the situation. So it's not like clicking off your brain or anything like that. It's just about assessing how to calm yourself down. I need this. Also, she's really chatty and funny, so I enjoy it. I fell in sewerage yesterday, guys. So I had the whole gig thing. That's been absolutely awful. Also, I've really hurt my ankle because when the bouncer dragged me out, I didn't realise at the time that my foot snapped on itself. So that's nice. So there's nothing I can do about it. I can't phone the police because they'll side with the bouncers. You can't argue with the bouncer. The venue side with the bouncers. You're powerless. So I feel like that's why I'm so annoyed with the whole situation. Is I'm quite a jokey person. I'll joke things off and I can take a lot of stuff. It's fine. Life is unfair. Things happen. Joke. But when you feel completely powerless, I feel like it just really gets me in a rut. And so I've been in a rut because if you've seen my life update video, I'll link it down below. We're basically moving out of this flat, so we've got to find a new flat to move into. It's not our choice, it's been sold, it's going to be done up and all that. So I feel like because I've been stressed, I haven't been sleeping enough, I haven't been clicked on enough within life, and so just so many bad things have been going on. And obviously I had all that stuff with the gig, and then yesterday I fell in sewerage. What happened is it was raining. We were around the back of the shops that are quite near us, and I could see in one of these big industrial bins there were loads of cardboard boxes that hadn't been flattened that were just being thrown out. And so I said to my boyfriend, why don't we nab a few, because we're going to be moving, we need to buy cardboard boxes, just nab a few from there, I'm sure it'll be fine. So he had all these bags, he couldn't nab any. I had a bag of soil in my hand, no joke. It's my life. I feel like every time I say stuff I'm like, what? But we bought soil because I needed it for my indoor plants, so I had a bag of soil on my arm, and I went to go around these bins, but they were massive industrial bins on wheels, so there were loads of them. So to get to this box with this bin with boxes, I had to kind of scoot around them. So I was trying to scoot around and I fell down so hard in poo. There's no other way of saying it. I fell in what smelled like poo, because near all the bins, obviously stuff that just falls down, or food waste and everything that was rotting, I had to wash all my clothes as soon as I got home. The fall was really hard. The side of my hip is very painful. It's got a massive bruise on it. It's ridiculous. And I snapped back up so quick. So I fell down like proper hard. And then I could hear people coming down the road and I was like, ready to go. Like I was some kind of criminal. So I snapped back up and started running up the road. It was awful. And then I came home, I had to take all my clothes off, wash, and then I had to go and do work as well. So I was just like, oh my god, had to get changed again. It was just the stress of the whole situation. So I fell in sewerage. I got chucked out of a gig this month. We're trying to find a flat and we can't find the flat. Also, there's something with people upstairs, which I'm kind of now glad that we're moving. The people upstairs, there used to be a couple above us, they moved out and now students are living above us and they are so loud. They're like lads, a group of laddish boys who I'm not actually sure if they are students or they're just a group of lads, like a bachelor pad or something. They are 24 hours loud. So that's stressing me out, and oh my god, I don't know if I ever told you, but when we were coming back from the gig, the whole of like the outside our flat was filled with people, and I was thinking, why are all these people standing outside our flat? What's going on? It was the lads' nest, as I'm calling it. I'm saying we've got a nest of lads above us at the moment. So, god, I'm gonna calm down, I'm gonna get zen, I'm gonna get back to my normal self, and it's going to be fine, and I'm going to try not to slip in any more sewerage or get chucked out of any heavy metal gigs. Gonna read this. The author, I can't actually say her name, but she is so funny. It's not one of those kind of pretentious books that are like, just, you know, go to a woods or something in the middle of nowhere and seek the angels and stuff, where you're like, woods in the middle of nowhere, sweetheart, I live in a city, like how's that gonna happen? It's about inner peace, and she's laughing stuff off and just loving it. I feel like I'm having a chat with her and being like, what's this Zen Buddhist nun stuff about? Tell me, sweetheart. And she's chatting. So I'm gonna read that and I'm gonna try and keep myself out of trouble. I'm just not gonna leave the house. So I'm in bed and I look like some kind of wild animal. I got up for the day, I was ready to go, I was by the door getting all my things, and then I was just sick everywhere. I don't know what's wrong. I feel like it's a 24-hour sickness bug. Like I'm sick and then I feel better and then I get really bad stomach cramps and then just the cycle continues. But I've been in bed all day and I have read this, Suicide Blonde by Dicey Steinkeck, I think. It's really about a woman who builds a friendship with a stripper. There's a backstory to how she gets to know that stripper, and then she finds out the stripper is actually a prostitute, and it's about she's trying to keep her boyfriend, who she knows is gay, but try and keep him in this straight relationship, and it's about the struggle of that. And then it's also about her parents' relationship and how dysfunctional that was and how that's bleeding into her actual life. But it's also, I would say, mainly about how like normal people, like you and I, probably see ourselves as like normal people, and we look at people in like the sex industry as crazy and how did they ever get there, but how actually we can have a few things go wrong in our own life, become reckless and become those people. And it's about that transition that you think could never happen to me, can never happen to us, we could never turn our lives into this destructive, horrendous path, but that actually everyone has the ability to go down that path. And it's frightening, it was sad, I don't know if I enjoyed it or not. I feel like it's a book you have to let sink in. I feel like it's just terrifying and depressing, but it's got something about it that I feel like I'm going to remember forever. It's one of those books that are very memorable but very difficult to read. There's a lot of very difficult scenes within it. Oh, I feel quite traumatised by it. So to liven the mood a little bit after that one, I have a murder, because murder's like my chill out read. This is Murder, She Wrote, the TV series, yes, which is a book one, and this is A Little Yuletide Murder. Jessica Fletcher. It's basically about this woman who, she's a writer, and she goes around and she'll be like staying with her cousin, and oh my god, a murder's happened. She solves the murder. It's charming, it's lovely. I think this one is also in Cabot Cove, where she lived, which is like a beautiful old-fashioned town, and it's going to be a murder there. So I've never read a Murder, She Wrote book, so I'm going to try it out. Well, again, I had a 24-hour sickness bug and it was absolutely awful. But onwards and upwards, this month is killing me. So last time you saw me, I was reading this. This is A Murder, She Wrote, A Little Yuletide Murder. I love the TV series. I thought I'd love this. Oh my god, is it slow? It just slogs itself along. It's incredibly slow. So I'm going to put that down. I don't want to read that anymore. And then this book, I'm not that interested in reading it. But in the comments, I always get, Hannah, have you read this book? Hannah, you're going to love it. Hannah, it's your kind of book. You're going to absolutely adore it. And it is this book. This is a classic. It came out in 1899 and it's by Kate Chopin and it's The Awakening. And I believe it's about a woman, like women at that time were property of men. So you'd be property of your father and then you become property of your husband and you look after your children and do stuff like that, but you were never really yourself. You never had choices of your own. I think it's about a woman who has an awakening and decides that she doesn't want to be anyone's property. She wants to decide what she wants to do for herself. This sounds like something I'd be interested in, but I'm only really reading it because it gets recommended so much and people said I love it. So I'm going to read that. I just got some bookish post. I'll tell you who the publisher is. This is from River Run, which is a Hachette UK company, imprint of Quercus, and I haven't ordered anything, so they just sent it to Hannah Moore to review, so I'm going to show you what that is. So here it is. Da da da. Ooh, All Rivers Run Free. Oh my god, what a gorgeous cover. It says, a woman on the edge of the sea finds a girl on the edge of life. Oh my god, that sounds pretty interesting. So yes, thank you so much, Quataras. This is by Natasha Carthew. So, you're right, I'm really liking it so far. Basically, you've got this woman called Edna. She's got children, she's got a husband. Her husband's really domineering over her and controlling because she is her property. That's what it was like at the time. And then come Robert. Robert is this kind of like, described as quite a young man. He's not married and they go on these long strolls and they get on really, really well. So I'm wondering if they're going to kind of have an affair or not. I don't know what's going to go on there. I am really enjoying this so far. This is my kind of This is my kind of writing. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of A Room with a View by Ian Forster. I don't know why, but it just has that kind of feel about it. Very good so far. So I have finished The Awakening by Kate Chopin, and oh my god, it broke me. There's a great bit on the porch where her husband says to her, get inside, because it's really late at night and she's just sitting on the porch. And she's like, no, I don't want to come to bed yet, I just want to sit on the porch. And that sounds like such a simple thing, but within the book it's such like a big moment where you're like, oh my god, she's staying on the porch. Like, I just loved it. Right, I'm gonna end this video here. I know it's not the end of the month, I have 10 more days, but I feel like this video has been very long. There's a lot that's gone on, a lot of drama stuff, so I'm going to end this video here and then I'm going to start filming for part 2, so you will get part 2 the rest of the days, which will hopefully be less drama filled. They'll be more cozy and nice and less negative as this one. It's been a challenging month. I'm hoping I can get through the last few days, the last like 10 days of it, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So I hope you enjoyed this video here. If you do, then feel free to subscribe, like, comment, all of that jazz. Also, I loved this. Is there any other books similar to this? Let me know and I'll see you again soon for another video.